You're dumped. You feel like garbage. You're lying on the couch, staring at the ceiling, thinking you're actually dying of love. Bullshit. You're dying of an evolutionary bug. If you lay down like this 30,000 years ago, you'd be eaten by nightfall. In the Paleolithic era, there was no time for self-reflection, yet broken hearts existed, and they broke much harder than they do now. Our ancestors didn't have psychologists, antidepressants, or cheap wine on sale, but somehow they survived this hell. Your depression today is just a misconfigured survival instinct, and to fix it, we have to look into the anatomical theater of the Stone Age. Let's drop the sentimentality. Your brain doesn't give a damn about romance, poetry, or butterflies in your stomach. To your brain, a breakup is not a relationship crisis. It's a physical injury, literally. When you get rejected, the exact same areas of your subcortex light up as they do during a compound leg fracture or a deep thermal burn. The organism sees no difference between the phrase, "we need to break up," and a blow to the ribs with a stone axe. Why did nature create this sadistic mechanism? It's a safety fuse. In the Stone Age, being left alone meant guaranteed death. Rejection by a partner or banishment from the group smelled like impending doom. The brain turned on wild, unbearable pain to force you to crawl back on your knees and fix the situation. Pain is an alarm signal. It forced you to cling to people just to survive. But imagine for a second, there is nowhere to return. Your partner was mauled by a saber-toothed tiger during the morning hunt, or she left you for a guy from the neighboring tribe who has a more massive jaw and a cleaner mammoth hide. This is where the real Paleolithic withdrawal began. Cortisol floods your system by the bucket load. Adrenaline makes your heart pound furiously inside a hollow chest. Dopamine hits absolute zero. The ice age is coming and you're squatting in the mud, unable to even catch your breath. In the wild, you instantly become dead weight for the group, and dead weight doesn't last long. Do you think ancient humans were emotionless biorobots? That they just made it on the go, lost partners, and immediately moved on to find new ones? Hell no. Archaeologists regularly uncover Paleolithic graves that radiate pure, concentrated grief. Look at the Sungheer burials. 2 teenagers lie in a single grave, head to head. Their skeletons are covered with thousands of beads carved from mammoth ivory. To craft these beads, the tribe spent thousands of hours of grueling labor. Why waste precious survival time decorating corpses? Because they cared. They experienced selective attachment. They howled with agony exactly the way you howl in your locked apartment. But the tribe couldn't afford a depressed hunter. A depressed hunter misses the deer. A depressed gatherer overlooks the poisonous berries. A depressed tribe starves to death in the winter. Therefore, a brutal, cynical, but flawlessly functioning system of social engineering kicked in. Zero sympathy. Nobody was going to pat your head and listen to you whine about unfair destiny. The first stage of therapy was forced labor through pain. You feel like shit? Excellent. Here's a flint chisel. Go nap arrowhead points for the next 14 hours straight. No breaks. Hands bleeding, fingers cramping, joints aching. Your brain is utterly overloaded with incoming signals of real, tangible physical pain. It simply lacks the processing power to simultaneously replay memories of someone's eyes and promises. Physical strain pushed out the mental wound. The organism switched into a strict energy-saving mode. You have no time to suffer when you need to hold up a heavy log before it crushes your tribe. You might say, what savages? That's an assault on personality. A person needs to process emotions ecologically, cry it out, align their inner energy. Your bloated ego needs to align its energy, but biology doesn't care. A brain left alone with suffering begins to destroy itself with cortisol. The ancients understood this intuitively. They didn't let the wound rot. If the daytime labor didn't work, the second stage kicked in at night. The chemical reset. Picture this. Pitch black night, darkness crawling with predators, and a massive bonfire raging in the center. The tribe starts pounding the drums, a fierce, raw, primeval rhythm. Everyone stands in a circle and begins to dance, but this wasn't a fun carnival or a party. This was hardcore neurobiological hacking. They danced for hours to the point of total exhaustion until they foamed at the mouth. Why? When a group of people moves synchronously to the exact same rhythmic sound, a miracle happens to their bodies. Their heart rates synchronize, their breathing becomes shared. The brain registers, we are a single organism. And at that exact moment, the pituitary gland dumps colossal doses of oxytocin and endorphins into the bloodstream. These are the most potent natural narcotics and painkillers known to man. The community literally forced through your feet and your ears hormones of joy and safety into the sufferer's damaged brain. They artificially compensated for the gaping void left by the loss of a specific partner. You move like everyone else, you sweat like everyone else, you scream in unison with everyone else. Your limbic system shuts up. It receives a clear, ironclad signal. I'm not alone. I wasn't thrown out into the freezing night. My pack is around me. I am alive and I am safe. You might say, so what? They danced by the fire, but in the morning they still remembered everything. Yes, they remembered. But the peak level of stress was broken. The brain got a breathing room. The hormonal storm subsided, preventing the person from collapsing into a clinical depression that, in those conditions, meant a swift and stupid death. They beat the madness out of their heads with rhythm, movement, and collective sweat. Now open your eyes and look at your glowing iPhone. You're dumped, and what do? Society, friends, internet psychologists, they all say in one voice, take a break, be alone with your feelings, stay inside, embrace the sadness, and you lock yourself in. You sit within four walls in absolute ringing silence. You hypnotize the phone screen, checking when they were last online. Do you know how your ancient Neanderthal brain sees this picture? It sees it like this. I'm sitting in a dark cave completely alone. No one is around. The tribe left and abandoned me. I am an outcast. I am dead. Your limbic system goes insane with terror. Cortisol skyrockets to the stratosphere. Stress blocks all logic. You voluntarily drive yourself into an evolutionary dead end with no exit. We completely destroyed the only mechanism of salvation that worked for millions of years: forced socialization, physical exhaustion, and rhythmic synchronicity. We try to treat with isolation and silence a trauma that for millions of years was cured by a crowd, heavy labor, and a wild scream around a campfire. We use civilized tools against primordial biology, and we are genuinely surprised why it doesn't fucking work, why the pain doesn't go away for months. Ancient humans handled a broken heart not because they were some kind of iron titans made of flint and tendons. They handled it because the community didn't let them rot. The pack didn't allow the individual to commit mental suicide in solitude. Your pain right now is not a sign of your weakness or brokenness. It's proof that your biological signaling system works perfectly. Your internal safety fuse is intact. It is screaming at you that a connection has been severed. But trying to muffle this scream by sitting alone under a blanket, scrolling through old photos, is pure, unadulterated madness. Stop pitying yourself. Stop waiting for time to heal. Time by itself heals nothing. It just covers the wound with a layer of dust. Your brain doesn't need your ex. Your brain needs hard, physical confirmation from the pack that you are still alive, you are still in the game, and the wolves aren't going to eat you. Get out of your shell. Burden your body until you can't lift your arms by evening. Find your rhythm. Go to people. Not for talk and whining, for presence. Your pack is waiting by the fire. Stand up and start moving.